get the opportunity of telling you about compost manure. Some of the major things why the crop production has been giving low yield yearly is that the soil has been exhausted. The soil has remained the same. People plow it year in, year out, and keep on all seasons. The crop is in the plot or in the land, and the land size remain the same, and the population is becoming weak. So to solve the problem of low yield, one of the major problem of low yield is that the soil has become poor and the soil is exhausted. So the soil needs to be replenished, or you cannot. The soil requires some fertilizer so that the plant planted can benefit and grow and give you good yield. Even if you select the better seed, high quality seed, and you plant at the right time and you manage it 100% without soil having the required nutrient, the plant cannot give you a good yield. So to solve the problem of poor soil because of overuse, because of being overused, one of them is to add fertilizer, which give plant food, give the soil ability to give the plant food required, so that the yield can be improved. So the fertilizer could be inorganic or organic. The inorganic are those fertilizers which are made artificially and bought from the commercial stockist. But people can make their own organic manure at their own homes. So organic manure can be made or can be found by getting the waste matter of the poultry dropping, goat dropping, sheep dropping, and cow dung. So those ones, after they have, you keep them to decompose. They call compost. You keep them to compost. So when the decomposition takes place, the animal waste product can be turned to be a very good manure to help the soil produce. Another way you can collect the rubbish plant material, the dead plant material, or the plant material, organic matters. You keep them somewhere to rot or to decompose, then they form manure. So once they form manure, you can now use in the field. So the process of making compost is to give a place to act as a base for decomposition. Then you bring the plant matter to the plant, the organic origin material. So when you make the compost, you make a base. You can dig a base of between 1.5 meters square. Then you dig it deep, about 20 centimeters, to act as a base. So after digging it, so you can make it to 1.5 meters, or at least 1.5, but can go to 2.5 meters square figure or square hole. So this hole goes down, you keep it deep 20 centimeters. Then you smear the base. This smearing of the base with the soil, or you mix soil with cow dung. Then you smear the base. You take the cow dung, as I've smeared the base already here. You smear the base so that you allow it to dry a bit. This, when the base is smeared, it prevents loss of the decomposed organic matter before use in the field under natural processes. So after you smear, they remain here without going down and without trying to percolate downward or infiltrate downwards to leave the manure being poor. So the compost can remain here for 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, you make another site next to the former starting hole. So you turn everything to the next one as you mix. What was in the top can now come to the lower bottom in the other after changing them to another hole. They stay there for 3 weeks. You turn them back again by mixing. This one helps uniform decomposition and the spread of nutrient in that particular compost. So when you after smearing, you bring the start of making the compost is to smear the base, then you put dry matter, dry plant, the remain dry plant material or any vegetative material. You cut them into sizes shorter than the end here. You cut them to become short between 10 to 15 centimeters. After making the square hole, you dig it up to 20 centimeters deep. Then you'll now put the material, the already gathered material. We start with you can see downward, I'm putting these big sticks. Are you seeing? So this big stick you put after smearing the base, you put this big stick. This will control you at the time of scooping out the compost. So when you reach the stick, you'll know that the level where you started is the material has reached. So you start putting dry matter, dry plant materials. This could be any materials of the plant, leguminous like tithonia, any branching and the plant leaf which are already dry, and any plant origin material but dry. So you chop them to make them decompose easily when they are put in the process. So you chop them between 10 to 15 centimeters in length. So these are the dry matter I'm chopping. So after chopping, you'll spread them at the lower part, the lower base of the hole. You'll spread them over as a starting layer. Make the thickness to be between 10 to 15 centimeters, not around 10 centimeters, the thickness of the first layer. Now I've already spread the fresh material, the green leaves from branching, or it could be from fresh grass. So here for my case I've used some tree branching and leaves and some tithonia. So I'll also add some little manure. So after spreading the dry material, we put some little of waste powder, or it could be poultry dropping or sheep and goat dropping. You put a little bit on top, as I'm putting here the manure. Here the manure, we spread a bit on top of the dry matter. We mix with some topsoil. We leave alone the subsoil. We sprinkle with the topsoil. Then after putting the topsoil, the manure, which will also facilitate decomposing, then I start now with the fresh leaves, plant leaves, which could, for my case now I'm using some fresh material from tithonia leaves. It could be amaranthus, it could be grasses, like this macania leaves. So I'll spread them over the dry material. This I need to achieve around 25 centimeters in thickness. After spreading, then I'll also put the spreading of the fresh material is going on. I have so many type of plant leaf. I've also had some waste from the kitchen. So done. I sprinkle a bit on top of the fresh material. I'm mixing with the sheep dropping. Then I'll also put topsoil before I go to another layer. So after topsoil, I'll add another layer, the third layer later, then I put the top. So the process continues. After this, I'll add another top layer. So we'll break from there as I'm getting the material for the top. Very low. So these are the fresh poultry and the sheep dropping with some topsoil mixed with those ones to cover the fresh material. These are the topsoil. As I put the topsoil, we also require to put some wood ash. The ash from the wood, we put some ash. This ash has mixed with this topsoil mixed with the fresh poultry dropping or sheep dropping, and the wood ash now assists the soil to have some potash. So when the decomposition would have got completed, most of the nutrients will be available in the compost manure. So this one, after putting the topsoil and this poultry dropping mixed with wood ash, I'll put another layer on top, and this layer will be later on we put a cover material. The cover material, we can use some of the banana leaves, even the fresh one, with some wet muddy soil. So when you put on top, that wet muddy soil will also cover it on top to make it a good ceiling. But where we will not have enough banana leaves or some leaves, some white broad leaves like those one of pumpkin, I can also use a black polythene paper. This will protect manure from being dried out by the sun, so that some element can escape. So, but what we can say, as we are now going here to finish the process of putting compost, we can conclude, say, that it is labor intensive and it requires a lot of material. So, but it is good that where you cannot afford chemical fertilizer, the compost manure assists the soil to have enough. It improves the soil structure so that the soil will be able to have aeration and provide the nutrients. At the same time, it will be loose to encourage microorganisms in the soil. It is also when you have striga in your plot, the compost manure also helps to reduce the problem of striga weeds in cereal crops. So it is good that when you use chemical fertilizer you have to use every season you plant. But this one, if you put enough in the soil, in your field where you are planting, it can last for 2 seasons without any problem. So that's why compost manure is a good one. And it's homemade. You can make it within your homestead, whether you have animal or you don't have. You just use plant material. You give them time for it to be ready. After putting everything and we are through, then you'll allow it to stay there for 3 weeks. Then you turn it upside down by changing it from the former side to another side next to it. Then you'll give it another 3 weeks and you turn it again. So between 3 to 4 months, it would have been expected to be mature. But now, as the time we are after completing, for us to know that manure is now ready or the compost is ready, you will have a stick, what we call tester stick or temperature stick. This one will put diagonally in the in the compost and stay there as you put other material on top. So you will be removing the stick to check when it is still warm, then the manure, the compost are still not yet 100% decomposed. But when it will turn cold with time, then you will know that it is ready. And as we will be scooping it for use, you will find that the former plant material, the debris of the feedstock will not be seen. It will be a loose dark brown material looking like humus. So for now, we'll leave it there, but later on, we'll be checking and monitoring how it is going on. I think at this moment we leave it there, but later when it will be ready, we'll also take the picture to show you how it looks like, the material which can be ready to be used in the field. So for this particular time, we leave it at this level.